Hello, my name is Kerry Barron. I'm a student at JTech, and I'm going to explain all the parts of a manual transmission and also give some common problems with a manual transmission. Okay, so first we're going to go from input shaft here. This is the input shaft, input bearing, input gear, counter gear. This here is your counter bearing on this one. It has a counter bearing. This will be your this is a synchronizer here. This whole assembly is a synchronizer. There's 3 of them on this transmission. See if I can move that one. All right, so this gear here is your smallest gear on the counter shaft, so that's going to be your first drive gear, so that makes that your first driven. And this will be your 1-2 synchronizer. This is the sleeve. This is the shift fork, this piece here. And up under the shift fork right here is the synchronizer hub, which is splined to the output shaft, which is this shaft here. This is your second drive because it's the next one down, next smallest gear, and that's your second driven. Third drive, third driven. Fourth gear doesn't have gears in these transmissions, and then this gear down here is going to be your fifth drive, fifth driven. This is your output shaft bearing, your rear counter shaft bearing. This gear here is going to be your speedometer, your speedometer gear. This is your fifth reverse synchro. So your reverse gear is here, and then the idler gear is over here, which turns this gear here, this is the reverse drive, reverse driven. So this is your fifth reverse synchronizer. Now, some common problems with a manual transmission is going to be worn out gears. These dog teeth right here on the gear, those will wear off and break, and then also on these blocker rings here, which are the copper colored pieces that I'm moving now. That is part of the synchronizer assembly, and those dog teeth can get worn out, and what those, or not the dog teeth, but the blocker rings can get worn out, and those match the speed of the synchronizer to the speed of the gear using they're like tapered on the inside, so they squeeze together gradually. And also bearings of course will wear out. As you can see, this bearing looks like it has had a lot of heat, and it also has a little rust on it. These bearings are, they have to be lubricated. You can't lubricate them, but they're sealed bearings. Shift forks can break. I've seen that happen before. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a power flow. We're going to do first gear because I already have the synchronizer into first gear. So first, the power will come from the engine to the clutch, and then from the clutch assembly to the input shaft, from the input shaft to the input bearing or input gear, and then from the input gear to the counter gear, and then all the way through to your first drive gear, and then your first driven gear, to the synchronizer sleeve, to the synchronizer hub, which is splined to the output shaft, and then from your output shaft to the drive shaft of the vehicle, and then so on.